Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Swing Good Torah. We have something so exciting tonight. Parsha Balak. NASA is predicting that there's going to be this new rare astronomical event, this supernova. There's going to be a star that's going to appear in the sky. And with the Zohar in this week's Parsha, if I am reading it all correctly, I may even be able to tell you the exact day Mashiach is coming. Okay, let's start. Let's take a look in the Parsha first. We're going to go on an incredible journey tonight. You want to stick around for this. All right, so we're going to look in Parsha. It's in Sefer Bamidbar, the book of Numbers. So in the 24th chapter, if you want to look it up, in Parsha Balak. Bilam is a sorcerer, and he was given nevuah. He was given prophecy by Hashem, by God, on a level of Moshe Rabbeinu, on the level of Moses. And in the Chazal, they tell us that one day the other nations say, well, if we had a great prophet like Moshe Rabbeinu, we too would have followed the Torah. And Hashem's going to say, I gave you Bilam, and he had prophecy the same level as Moses. So Bilam receives a nevuah, receives a prophecy about the coming of Mashiach. And he says, Er enu v'lo ata. So he says, I see him, but not now. And this was like, I think, over 3,000 years ago. He says, Ashurenu v'lo karov. Like, I see him, but it's not going to be soon. It's going to take a while. And then the famous line, he says, Darach kochab me Yaakov. A star is going to shoot from Yaakov, from Jacob, from the Jewish people. Bekam shevet me Yisrael. And a royal scepter is going to be established from Israel. And we're going to take a look at what Rashi says in this incredible pasuk here. All right, so Rashi, he gives us an explanation. And Rashi says, Dara kochav, like a star shoots forth. He says, Katargamo, says this is like the Targum Onkelos, like the translation of Onkelos. And it says the Lashon, the language, what it means is Dara kishto. He's going to release his bow. And then Shehakochav over kachetz, and then the star is going to kind of pass by like an arrow. Kolomar, as if to say, Yakum Mazel, that Hashem is establishing, he's setting up a mazel in the heavens, in the sky, and it's a sign will arise. And the interpretation here is that Yaakov's mazel will rise. So the Jewish people, our mazel is going to rise, and it's going to be the time for the Gula. It's going to be the time for Mashiach. So Rashi says on Vikam Shevet, and the scepter has risen. And he says this refers to he says Melech Rodeh Umoshel. It's going to be a king who dominates and rules. Pretty incredible stuff. Okay, let's take a look at this NASA article. And this is just going to blow your mind. It's really incredible. All right, so let's bring that up here. All right, so NASA, so global astronomers await a rare nova explosion. So around the world this summer, professional and amateur astronomers alike will be fixed on one small constellation deep in the night sky, but it's not the 7 stars of the Corona Borealis, which means the Northern Crown, that has sparked such fascination. It's a dark spot among them where an impending nova event so bright it will be visible on Earth with the naked eye, is poised to occur. What's so incredible about this is 7 is the number of the Teva, the natural world, the physical world. We have 7 days of the week. And if there's an 8th star that appears, 8 goes into Lamaila in the Teva, goes into the supernatural. And Hashem may be giving us a sign there's a supernatural event coming. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event, maybe a once-in-all-world history event. That will create a lot of new astronomers out there, giving young people a cosmic event they can observe for themselves, ask their own questions, and collect their own data, said Dr. Rebecca Hansel, an assistant research scientist specializing in nova events at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. We're not too far away here in Baltimore. It will fuel the next generation of scientists. T Corona Borealis, dubbed the Blaze Star, and known to astronomers as simply TCRB, is a binary system nestled in the Northern Crown some 3,000 light years from Earth. The system is comprised of a white dwarf, an Earth-sized remnant of a dead star with a mass comparable to that of our sun, and an ancient red giant slowly being stripped of hydrogen by the relentless gravitational pull of its hungry neighbor. The hydrogen from the red giant accelerates on the surface of the white dwarf, causing a buildup of pressure and heat. Eventually, it triggers a thermonuclear explosion big enough to blast away that accredited material. For TCRB, that event appears to reoccur on average every 80 years. Don't confuse a nova with a supernova, a final titanic explosion that destroys some dying stars. Hansel said, in a nova event, the Dwarf star remains intact, sending the accumulated material hurtling into space in a blinding flash. The cycle typically repeats itself over time, a process which can carry on for tens of hundreds of thousands of years. Well, okay, we'll see. And there are a few recurrent nova with very short cycles, but typically we don't often see a repeated outburst in human lifetime, and rarely one so relatively close to our own system, Hansel said. It's incredibly exciting to have this front row seat. So if you want to find the Corona Borealis when it happens, so if you look here near the constellation of Hercules, and then here, this is, I guess this is the star Arcturus, one of these, I don't know what this is, Buddhist, but here is the Corona Borealis, and this will be where it is. So you can check it out. I'm sure as we get closer and closer, excitement is going to grow. Let me see if I can, and then I believe they say here, so here, we'll just finish up here. So the first recorded sighting of TCRB nova was more than 800 years ago in autumn 1217, when a man named Burchard, sorry if I'm mispronouncing everything, the abbot of Erzberg, Germany, noted his observance of a faint star that for a time shone with great light. It would be interesting to go and research what happened in 1217. So the TCRB nova was last seen from Earth in 1946. Its behavior over the past decade appears strikingly similar to observed behavior in a similar time frame leading up to the 1946 eruption. If the pattern continues, some researchers say the nova event could occur by September 2024. Keep that date in mind, September 2024. Now we're going to see something really incredible. All right, let's bring up the Zohar from this week's Parsha, from Parsha Balak. Prepare to have your minds blown. Okay, we're not going to go through the Aramaic today. We will stick with just the English translation I put together. Okay, so here it is. So when the pasuk enu v'lo ata, I see it but not now. So the Zohar says, since some of these words were fulfilled at that time, and some later, while some are left for Mashiach, we learned HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He, will build Yerushalayim, will build Jerusalem, and I think it's rebuild, and show one fixed star with 70 starbursts and 70 solar flares in the Rakia, in the heavens, and it will shine for 70 days. Now, what's so incredible about this is the Torah says that Israel is compared to the sheep between the 70 wolves, the 70 nations, and it seems like Hashem sending a sign in the heavens to the whole world, so all the 70 nations. So it says, it will appear on the 6th day of the week, which is Friday, it's Erev Shabbos, and it's going to be the 25th of the 6th month. All right, let me see if I can get this to go. Okay, I'm having trouble with the cursor here. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, so it's going to appear on the 6th day of the week, that's Friday, on the 25th of the 6th month. So that would be the 25th of Elul, and that would be September 28th, 2024. Now, the dates could be slightly off because I'm not sure. I have to look up if each month is 29 days or 30 days. And it will disappear on the 7th day. So it'll disappear on Shabbos after 70 days. So depending on how the months work out with 29 or 30 days, it could be talking about the 6th of Kislev, which would be December 12th, 2024. So on the first day, it will be seen in the city of Rome. And on that day, 3 lofty walls of the city will fall, and a mighty palace will be overthrown. And maybe this is talking about Vatican City. And the ruler of that city will die. And possibly this is talking about the Pope. Then the star will become visible throughout the whole world. And in that time, mighty wars will arise in all quarters of the world. And it's not hard to see now like a massive world war breaking out with all the tensions in the world right now. And Amunah, faith, will be found among men. It may have said there was no Amunah. I go back over my translation. I apologize. When the star shines in the middle of the rakia, in the middle of the heavens, a certain powerful king will rise, who will seek dominion over all kings and make war on two sides and prevail against them. So it seems like he's going to go to war against two other powerful nations. I don't know why I can't get this to move. Well, there we go. Okay, so then we'll come down here. So on the day when the star disappears, the Holy Land will be shaken. And this could be talking about an earthquake over an area of 45 miles all around the place where the Beis HaMikdash, the temple, used to be. So it could be that this earthquake is going to knock over the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is on top of the Temple Mount. And a cave will be laid open beneath the ground, from which will issue a mighty fire to consume the world. From that cave will spread a great and noble branch, which will rule over all the world, and to which will be given the kingship. And the heavenly Siddiqim will gather to it. Then will King Mashiach, Melech HaMashiach, will appear, and the kingship will be given to him. Mankind will then suffer one tragedy after another, and the enemies of Israel will prevail. But the spirit of the Mashiach will rise against them and destroy the sinful Edom and burn in fire the land of Seir. So it is written, and Edom will be a possession, Seir will also be an inheritance of which were his enemies, while Israel does bravely. And in that time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be he will raise the dead of his people, so it will be the Techiyas Amesim, and death will be forgotten of them. Rabbi Abba says, why is it written, for in joy you will go out? And that's in Yeshaya 35:12, that's Isaiah. Because when Israel goes out from captivity, the Shekinah will go out with them, and they with her. Pretty incredible stuff. Okay, I don't know. These are pretty specific dates. We're just keen to keep watching this nova, this new star appearing in the Corona Borealis. It's interesting. Corona means northern crown, king of the north, all that interesting things. So I don't know. We'll watch the skies. We'll keep learning Torah, do Teshuvah, and B'ezrat Hashem. Who knows? Maybe we are very, very close to the coming of Mashiach and the redemption of the Jewish people. The Geula could finally be here. Okay. Hope to see you back soon on Sweet and Good Torah.